Hi, and thank you so much for tuning in for your September Written in the Stars Horoscope. I'm Madeline if we haven't met before, and if you're back, thank you so much. So, this month, astrologically speaking, we've got some pretty big shadow aspects to work with. Pluto, the planet of power and transformation, will finish up his retrograde this month, going direct on September 28th. So that means that this month, because he's the planet of, the underworld, of secrets, of death and rebirth, it's a perfect month to really think about uncovering and unpacking uncomfortable truths or things that you've been hiding from yourself, especially if they've been keeping you resistant to doing what you feel that you need to do, or that you've been kind of resisting a necessary evolution. Pluto is all about getting intimate with our fears and our desires, and he shows us that doing our shadow work really keeps us from doing shady work. So to hear more about what this Pluto direct aspect is doing for you, you can check out your horoscope on my blog, writteninthestars.co. So this month, as usual, I'll be doing your horoscope, a story of your month, followed by a fiercely focused spread to give you some really concrete action steps to take to make the most of the month. I really appreciate you. I hope if you like this video that you will like it, and subscribe if you want more, and I hope that this gives you a really magical month and a beautifully resonant reading. Now, without further ado, on to your reading. Hey Pisces! I hope this reading finds you very well. I'm looking forward to see what Spirit has to say for you this month. And I was, wow. Didn't fly out though, okay. So as I was meditating and praying on your energy, as I do always before I turn the camera, I shuffle for a while and get some channeled information. And Spirit was talking about the upgrading of your peer group. Okay, now, even as I use that phrase, it's like, I know it's a well-known phrase among some people, but I just want to make a distinction here. I don't mean upgrade in some elitist sense of only hang out with people who make this amount of money or who do this job or whatever. I mean upgrade in the sense of you have reached a new level, and there's a revolution that's been happening when it comes to who you want to spend your time with, who can help you achieve your big goals, who is really, quote unquote, on your level. And again, I do not mean that in some weird level of oh, some of these people are up here and some are over here. More like who's on your plane. Who do you really vibe with, okay? That's a much better way to say it. Because Pluto is finishing up his retrograde and turning direct in your house of allies, organizations, and long-term goals, i.e. those big dreams, big goals you have that require a team or a network or an audience, a bigger than you, right? If your goal was to write a book, you obviously need a big audience of people to want to read that book if you were going to make that your living. Or if you have, a wonderful charitable idea, you would need a team of people to help you make that nonprofit, right? So there's a revolution going on with, and an uncovering of truth going on with who you spend to choose your time with. Wow. Did I said spend to choose your time with? I'm sorry, Pisces. It's been quite a month so far, as you can imagine by the date that I posted this. But that does very much go with that. Who you choose to spend your time with and who it benefits you to walk away from, okay? Somebody or some relationship, some circumstance you've talked to death, and this is a month to move completely away from it. Okay, so let's see. Wow. Okay, sorry, before I even go further, I have to say, I haven't even seen the rest of your cards, but this is what Spirit is showing me right now. Let me pick these up so you can see very clearly. What they're showing me is how this guy is walking away from this Ten of Swords, I've beaten this dead horse to dust situation and moving toward this mountain, this new day. And here, where dawn is, there's a mountain in the distance, and this person is sending a message, calling you away. So I feel like some of you get a life-changing or path-shifting opportunity or invitation in September. It's a very beautiful one. It's like your ships are coming in, something you've been dreaming about for a lot of you. Okay.
Now I'm going to shut my mouth. Let's see what else is happening in September, because Spirit clearly wants to talk. Wow. Okay, like, could we ask for a more related card? Going on a new adventure, dropping baggage, walking away from baggage, and this guy is literally setting what tiny baggage he did have on fire and walking away. Beautiful. Okay, September. What does Pisces need to know in September? What can they expect to encounter? What do they need to know for their highest good? Wow. There's your little flame to light your baggage on fire. Wow. Gorgeous. Okay. Gorgeous graduation from an ace all the way to a king of the suit. Wow. Okay. Pisces. September. The month of transition. We're moving into fall. What does Pisces need to know as they go through this transition? Big transition. Hello. Wow. What does Pisces need to know, Spirit, for their highest good about this transition? About this month of change? What does Pisces need to know for their highest good, Spirit, for the month of September? Just going to shift everybody down, make sure you can see things. What does Pisces need to know, Spirit, in September? Pisces. Okay, wow. A couple of bonus cards here. So she came first. Ooh, Pisces, what a ride. Okay. All right. So I really want to say to those of you who have or are embarking upon a new adventure and completely cleaning the slate and moving on from a situation that had outrun its usefulness, like, you're getting a lot in return. Now, these are general readings, Pisces, so I get a lot of messages, and it's for every Pisces sun, moon, and rising who happens to watch this reading, right? So some of these messages will resonate more than others, and those that do not, I would like you to remember that those are for either another Pisces, or they may be something that just hasn't manifested or at least been understood yet. So just take what resonates with you and use it to your greatest advantage this month. Okay, so again, I do feel like you are feeling pulled or summoned either by a person or by your vision to move on from a just painful kind of chapter of your life. For some of you, they're giving me the word divorce. So for some of you are really like the final nail is kind of in the coffin. Maybe everything is finalized and you finally get to walk away. But I feel like whether this is a divorce or this is just a negative circumstance, or for those of you, maybe it's not even a romantic relationship that you're walking away from, but more like a friendship or just a contentious relationship is what I'm feeling. Somebody with whom you feel like there have been harsh words exchanged, or just you've had a lot of difficulties and arguments and you've tried every way that you can say it to kind of make peace or improve things, and it's still the way it is. I feel like so many of you feel so happy to walk away from this. It's like a load off, you know? There are cards for heartbreak. Like, this is painful, don't get me wrong, but there's a card for literally like a broken heart, and you don't have that here. So I don't see you feeling like, oh my God, I can't live without this, I'm so depressed. I feel like it's more of a, wow, that was really difficult, but I'm so glad it's over. Like, it's a blessing that it's over, and now I can kind of come back to life. So this is you, Pisces. For the month of September, you're coming in as the King of Wands. And yes, you're a water sign and the King of Wands is fire, but you can be quite fiery when you get into your creative spirit, because that is the King of Wands, you know, that is where his mastery is. And I say his, you can be a female King of Wands. The court cards have nothing to do with gender. You have an idea that now can come to fruition. I feel also that for some of you, there's a new blossoming partnership this month. There's new chemistry, new opportunity, an exchanging of cups, someone who admires you very much, and it's very mutual. Mutual admiration, mutual respect. There's something blossoming here. I feel like stand in your power, because things are coming to a close this month for you. And I feel like in a couple of really big ways. I mean, you have the Ten of Swords and you have Death. But again, I see these pairings as very related. Something that you've really been stressing about. This is called the Nightmare card, the Nine of Swords. And that is a better thing than it sounds like it is. It's called the Nightmare card because this is a card that comes up when your fears and anxieties and even like depression has crept in and made things look much, much bigger and much worse than they actually are. Just like a nightmare, your thoughts cannot physically harm you, but they can definitely disrupt your energy and put you on the wrong wavelength. Like, so therein lies the danger. It's important for you to remember that you control your thoughts and not the other way around. Now, of course, that means being very conscious. You have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Swords. And aces are beginnings, breakthroughs, positive new opportunities. And air feeds fire. You need to bring light to this. You need to bring light and consciousness to these thoughts that you have and think about why you have them. And in some cases, you need to put some of them to death. What Spirit is actually giving me right now for some of you, and again, this is why they're general readings, Pisces. This may very much not apply to many of you, but Spirit is talking about OCD, meaning there are some thoughts that really do just need to be like systematically eradicated because they're detrimental. Beyond unhelpful, they like can hurt you and keep you in a state of depression or dejection, when there is really so much out there for you. September represents a new chapter, and of course a new chapter always comes after an ending. So the Death card is another one of those cards that nobody likes to see, you know, just like this Ten of Swords, the Nine of Swords, like that doesn't look good, why do I have that? But again, I want to tell you that I feel that it's actually a positive thing in the sense of this has been done to death. Like this is not something that comes as a surprise. This is something that has been kind of dying or dead, but you didn't really want to acknowledge it, and now it's time to actually like dust your hands off of the circumstances and leave the gravesite, you know, with a blessing, with light and love, like goodbye, wish you the best if it's a person, and, you know, like Godspeed if it's a business or whatever, but it's time to just, you know, the phoenix comes from ashes, and that Death card being followed by this Ouroboros, this snake eating its own tail, that happens to be forming the infinity symbol, like everything is a cycle. This is something, what the Spirit is saying, this is a cycle because they're saying everything is a cycle, as in everything comes to an end at some point, not meaning necessarily the relationship or the job that you're thinking of when we're talking about an unhealthy situation that's kind of coming to an end. It can also be just a dynamic that has to come to an end. This is about recalibrating. This is about finding a new balance and recognizing that when you work with what you have, whether it's resources or people, when you work with what you have, even if it's a little, you can multiply it. You can make it infinite if you know how to do it. I have to say, Pisces, September looks like a month where you have a lot on your plate and a lot on your mind. So as much as you can, cut things off of your to-do list and leave aside thoughts that are kind of, if you keep looking at the past, if you keep looking back at regret or wondering if you did that right or if maybe you should have done it differently when in fact it's already done, you might walk into something or get bitten by something that because you're not looking. So Spirit wants you to don't look at the past, look ahead. Leaving a couple of swords behind, and remember, swords are the mental realm, so thoughts, conversations, conflicts. Leaving a couple of those behind brings balance, and it's just, okay? So have an honest conversation with whomever you need to have it with. Have it especially with yourself, is what Spirit just said. Wow. Be honest with yourself about what you want and how much you want to carry on your back, okay? Pisces, you're such a giving person, and you are the sign of sacrifice. But don't break your back for anybody, because we want you around. And I'm speaking for your loved ones, your family, as much as I am like for myself. We want you here, and we want you at your magical best, because you are so magical and so amazing. Like, we need your attitude and your personality and your words in the world. Look how happy you make people when you are happy, okay? And that's not a judgment or a demand. It's more like you're ready to be back in your natural state. You're ready to recalibrate and get away from carrying the burdens of everyone and everything and the expectations. Be honest with yourself, draw some lines and set some boundaries, and you'll be much happier for it. Again, I feel like there are some people coming into your life this month that really love you and want to help you bring that balance. That see that you have something to offer and want to do the same in return. Step away from that which is weighing you down, and you step into your power. Draw lines, draw joy. Love it. Okay. All right, Pisces. Now let's look at your fiercely focused spread. Let's look at advice that Spirit has to give you about how you can make the most of September. And if you haven't been here before, Pisces, this is a quick 5-card spread to look at those major factors. A theme for your month, like what is most happening or what you most need to embody. And then the earth, air, water, and fire aspects. So like money and finances, the mental, emotional, and spiritual. So first of all, Spirit, what does Pisces need to know about September? Wow. Poof. They're like, this? Duh. The World. Beautiful card. Ultimate card. Number 21. Final card of the Tarot. You had the Fool in the story of your month, and then you have the World as your fiercely focused theme, meaning you are making a tremendous upgrade, a tremendous level up, a tremendous new level of understanding and enlightenment. And of course, Pisces, you know, tarot is not fatalistic. It's all about the choices that you make. And if you want to go deeper, I would love to talk to you one-on-one. My shop is linked below if you'd ever like to do a personal appointment. And the reason I say that is because for some of you, it's like you are making those choices that bring you enlightenment. And the way that tarot works, very similar to astrology, the same aspects and energies can affect different Pisces very differently depending on the choices that they're making. So for some of you, it may be that you don't make those positive or necessary choices, and that becomes what reveals to you certain patterns. Like, okay, you know what? Maybe that last hit over the head was not enough to show me that this person or this situation is going to keep hitting me on the head, but the next one definitely did. That was it. Okay, got it. Got it. This is what's going to happen, because the world is about like bird's eye view, and that's what they're telling me for some of you. And for the others of you, it's the other meaning of the world, which is like bigger, better, happier, more than I ever thought possible. Again, you have the infinity symbol, these ribbons around the laurel wreath of victory. Like, you have risen above, many of you Pisces, okay? So are you rising above to recognize your patterns, or are you rising above your patterns? Oh. Okay. So next, Pisces, let's look at what's going on in the earthly realm. Your physical body and your money, finances, your job, resources, business. What about it? What do they need to know, Spirit, in September? What does Pisces need to know? Beautiful. Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Resources, like, my God. My God, Pisces. You can have more than enough, okay? And the court cards always represent people that are in our lives, but they are in our lives because they can evoke those qualities, help us find them within ourselves. So think, who is the Queen of Pentacles in my life? And this describes the queen. Remember, this can be male or female. I'm just going to say she because it's a queen and I'm looking right at her. The Queen of Pentacles is someone who is very nurturing, very savvy with money, like practical, like tends to enjoy luxury and finds a way to get what she wants. Definitely not like finds a way to get what she wants in some weird sense, like works for what she wants. She plants, she plans, and she executes, and she makes that money. She plants that garden and she nourishes it, and then it nourishes her back. Same thing with business, right? It's all about exchange. It's all about you reap what you sow, you get what you pay for, and the Queen of Pentacles only pays for the best. She only sows the best seeds and she receives the best in return. Who helps keep you grounded? Who helps you feel like you're growing? Who is somebody that makes you feel nurtured and understood? This person can help you with your situation this month. You know, you're a water sign. You excel in the realm of emotions and kind of ethereal, ephemeral things, but this is a person who can really bring you back down to earth. They make you feel like, oh, okay, you know what, when you put it that way, I get it. I just couldn't see it because I was like, oh my God, like floating up here. And I don't mean that in a bad way at all, like up in your upper chakras, you know, like I'm up in my heart and my spirit and my like vision, and like maybe I need to come back down into my security and my creativity and feeling more solid in myself. And that is what I'm feeling. Many of you, again, the Fool to the world, the heaven to earth, like that connection, you need both. As above, so below. So counsel this person and recognize these qualities in yourself. You know, think about your root and sacral chakras. Think about your solar plexus chakra, i.e. those in like the tailbone and in your reproductive organs, and then where your navel is, your solar plexus. Get down into those chakras of money, security, power, and sex. Hell yeah, because sex is the same as creativity, okay? So get down on it. Go for a walk. Like, have some good sex, have some good food, get grounded, get earthy, get in your body, and get with this person who helps tether you. Because ironically, it's by getting like grounded that you're going to be able to transcend some of the stuff that you haven't been able to nail down yet. The world is all about transcendence. Man, I love Spirit. They are spitting for you today. Okay. So now let's look at what you're thinking, what you're talking about, what you're speaking, how you're communicating and thinking in the month of September. What does Pisces need to know? What's your advice, Spirit, Pisces? I knew it was going to be this card. Oh my God, like saw it in my head. This is a card of clarity. This is a card of taking space for yourself. This is a card of moving away from drama and muddied waters toward clarity and clear sight and the ability to actually assess things. I love to see this particularly after I see that you have that 10 of Swords of having to walk away. It's like, look, even if it felt or feels shitty in that moment, please trust that you're moving away from a bad chapter toward a much better one. That now, like, I can see clearly now the rain is... Don't want to get copyright sued. But you know what I'm saying. You're going to be able to... A clearer day is coming for you, Pisces. You are sailing away from the old and toward the new and a clean slate. You're recalibrating your compass. So get grounded, and that will help you clear your head, as they were even intimating before we ever even turned over the card. Okay, so now let's look at what's going on with your emotions, your relationships. What are you feeling? Is there something coming? You had that Two of Cups card. What else can you tell us, Spirit, about the emotional and relationship life of Pisces in September? What do they need to know? Their highest good. Wow. Wow. Okay. So some of you may be contacted by someone from the past, or you may be the one to do the contacting. The Six of Cups is literally a card of nostalgia, of childhood / just youth, and looking back at where you've come from, like a more innocent time or more joyful time. So don't be surprised if you get a visit or a request for a visit or some kind of message from somebody who loves you and who you may think of fondly or is just from a long time ago. And for others of you for whom that does not resonate, it's like, be playful. Be like a kid again. Share your cup. Be a little open. Don't be so guarded. Think of the way you used to be when you were little, and this is so funny, but this is what Spirit is showing me. I had this friend that likes to go to like flower shops or just vendors with flowers and purchase a bunch, and then she likes to just hand these flowers out to random people, like whoever, she'll just go do it once in a while when she's feeling like it. And it's just this sweet, innocent, totally free gesture, just like, hey, I wanted to bring you a little bit of joy. And of course, naturally, byproduct of that is that it brings her joy. So, do a random act of kindness, or engage in those activities that you engaged in as a child that made you feel wonderful. Like, this is why adult coloring books were made, and this is why like bouncy castles and theme parks for adults and go-karts are a thing. Go embrace your childhood, play the games from back then, watch the movies from back then. This is such a beautiful reading so far. And I love it, especially, like I said, coming after kind of some of the strife of that reading before. It's like, this is a rebirth, and that's why you deserve to have a little bit of a second childhood in September. Okay, so carve out one weekend to like watch cartoons and like eat your favorite childhood cereal and do whatever it was that takes you back to simpler times, because again, it's kind of related to clearing your head. Sixes are about harmony. Six of Cups and Six of Swords. Okay, and finally, let's look at what is lighting you up, what is firing you up, what is exciting you or challenging you in the month of September. What is getting your creative or spiritual, woof, juice is flowing. Okay. So, you win, Pisces. It's not easy, but you do win. This is the card of coming off the battlefield. You're battered and bruised, but you should see the other guy. You have not only won all the battles, the difficult battles that you've been through, but you've taken the weapons of your enemies and adversaries, and you arranged them as trophies behind you. a reminder to you, and a reminder to any opponent who might try or want to come up against you of, well, yeah, sure, if you want to come up against somebody with all these skills, like, I've been through it, okay, so, I mean, if you want to try, but I must warn you, these hands are registered as a deadly weapon, that kind of thing. Your mind, your soul is a deadly weapon, Pisces. You're stronger than people give you credit for. Let's not mince words. September looks like a month where you do go through it, and you do have to lay down some boundaries and maybe go to battle with some people and have some words. You're gonna win, okay? Whenever I want you to imagine like that you were on a ship on a storm-tossed sea, okay? Everything's lurching, things are creaking, you're not even sure if you're going to be able to weather the storm, and all of a sudden you can see that there are 9 gleaming torches, and oh my god, land. And you're still not there, you're still in the middle of the storm, but now you know if you batten down the fucking hatches and stay on your toes and fight, you can get there. And there's a hero's welcome on the other side of it for you. Wow. You're doing some powerful work in September, Pisces. Tell me about it. Like, let me know in the comments, or, you know, if this brings up questions for you or resonates with you, I would love, love, love to hear about it. I really appreciate you listening, Pisces. I'm really wishing you a fantastic month. It seems like you have so much to enjoy and so much to learn this month. I'm wishing you the best, and I can't wait to see you next month, my favorite month, October. Bye, Pisces.